Welcome to Kansas Ag Report with your host, Bryan Hallman.
Welcome to Kansas Ag Report. I'm Bryan Hallman, and here's our lineup for today's show. In Ag News, we'll take a look at local and national headlines affecting Kansas farmers. And our Ag Feature will sit down with Jason Lamprecht from the USDA. Inside Kansas Ag gives us an update from Farm Bureau. And Dr. Blevins gives us tips on horse management. In news you need to know, Todd Domer has our weekly update from the Kansas Livestock Association. We'll look back at last week's market activity with the guys from Paragon, and we'll let you know about important events coming up around the state of Kansas. Glad you could join us.
Closed captioning brought to you by Dick Edwards in Manhattan, selling America's #1 truck, the Ford F-150, for over 30 years. DickEdwardsAuto.com.
Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff. Progress powered by Kansas farmers. kansassoybeans.org.
Ag Risk Solutions. Experience, knowledge, integrity. Your crop insurance solution, Ag Risk Solutions. Dick Edwards Auto Plaza in Junction City, home of this year's Motor Trend Truck of the Year, Ram Truck. DickEdwardsAuto.com.
Here's our national headlines for this week in Ag News. The USDA and the Department of the Interior announced that farmers and ranchers planning to implement CRP practices to protect and increase lesser prairie chicken populations will not be subject to additional regulations since being listed as threatened. CRP participants should consult their local FSA offices for advice in developing conservation compliance plans. Since our reporting, the Farm Service Agency has received more than 10,000 applications for disaster assistance programs. Approximately 95% of these applications were for the Livestock Forage Program, which provides payments to eligible producers for grazing losses. Go to disaster.fsa.usda.gov for updates. Walmart held its Sustainable Product Expo last week. CEOs of more than a dozen global companies, including Monsanto, Cargill, and Dairy Farmers of America, all signed commitments to expanding the availability of sustainable products for people and the environment. One initiative was Walmart and Cargill working together to develop a program focused on improving transparency within the beef supply chain. And in local news, the KDA Animal Health Commissioner reported that a horse in Kansas has been confirmed positive with the equine herpes virus. Horse owners are encouraged to monitor animals carefully for the signs of the disease by checking temperatures twice a day for any changes and implementing good biosecurity practices at equine facilities. The 2014 wheat tour wrapped up on May 1st. Kansas crop production is estimated at 260.6 million bushels. This would be the lowest production since 1996. The average yield calculated was 33.2 bushels per acre. Last year's average yield was calculated at 41.1 bushels per acre. The formula is based on a 10-year rolling average and is dependent on moisture levels and growing conditions. 45 senators, including Senator Pat Roberts of Kansas, are fighting attempts by the European Union to limit the use of names of meats and dairy products. If the EU were successful, U.S. companies would be restricted in the use of common names such as bologna, Black Forest ham, brats, feta, and parmesan. If the ban were allowed, this could cause confusion for American consumers when shopping for these food items. This spring, 459 Kansas students took on a challenge of growing the largest potted soybean plant. The motivation was to win the Willie and the Beanstalk contest, a project organized by K-State's Agronomy Department and sponsored by the Kansas Soybean Commission. The event was created as a way to encourage plant and soil sciences in schools and increase students' interest in agronomy. Go to kansassoybeans.org for the results. Up next in our Ag Feature, we'll sit down with Jason Lamprecht, Kansas State statistician for the USDA, to discuss the 2012 Census of Ag. You're watching Kansas Ag Report. Please stay tuned. You can find us on the web at kansasagreport.com and make sure to like us on Facebook.
This segment brought to you by Oldie Seed Farms, carrying soil-specific seed. Find them on the web at oldieseed.com. That's OHLDE seed.com. Farmers Insurance, your best protection against the unexpected. Call Agent Dan Key at 785-408-5459. Grass and Grain, online or in the mail, keeping Kansas farmers informed for over 60 years. grassandgrain.com. Blue River Traders, the finest selection of Western-style furniture for your home. BlueRiverTraders.com.
Price, selection, dependability. That's the Dick Edwards way. It's a standard that we've lived by for over 30 years, and it continues today with a wide selection of America's most affordable and dependable brands. Ford, Lincoln, Mazda, and Hyundai. We don't draw you in with gimmicks or false promises. Just upfront, honest pricing from great salespeople, always going the extra mile to find the perfect car, truck, or SUV just for you. That's the way it's always been, because that's the Dick Edwards way. Dick Edwards Ford, 2 miles east of the Town Center Mall on Highway 24.
American innovation is being driven in places you might not expect by people like Brent Hayek, an Oklahoma family farmer, who recently set a world land speed record in a Ford Super Duty pickup truck powered by renewable B20 biodiesel. Advanced performance is here, now, putting America on the fast track to more jobs and energy independence. Biodiesel, America's advanced biofuel.
At Ag Risk Solutions, we have been helping our clients make better crop insurance decisions since 1981. We always focus on helping you find the best coverage options for your farm, and it will give you peace of mind knowing you have a partner you can trust. To learn more about our agency, please visit our website, like us on Facebook, or follow us on Twitter. Ag Risk Solutions. Experience, knowledge, integrity. Your crop insurance solution.
Ag Risk Solutions is an equal opportunity provider.
Since 1983, the Hydrobed has been utilized on cattle operations throughout North America. The Hydrobed equips your 3-quarter or 1-ton truck for hay handling and feeding. Variable speed cable controls or the optional wireless remote enable you to haul, transport, and unroll 2 round bales weighing up to 3,000 pounds each. A mechanical free float automatically compensates for uneven ground and out-of-round bales, isolating you and the truck from impact of bale unrolling. To find out how the Hydrobed can improve your feeding efficiency, call or visit us on the web at triple-c-inc.com.
Here at Blue River Traders, we have the greatest selection of rustic and western furniture in Kansas.
At Blue River Traders, you can select from an inventory of rustic lodge or western furnishings. With a designer on hand, Blue River Traders will help create the look you desire.
Jason, thanks for joining us this morning.
Hey, Brian, glad to be here.
Hey, Census of Ag just came out. It's a long process. It covers a big, wide area, which takes a lot of time, and good highlights coming out of this Census of Ag?
Yeah, there are quite a few highlights coming out of the Census of Ag. One of the big things, of course, is the number of farms and the number of farmers out there across the United States. The number came in at 3.2 million farmers, operating 2.1 million farms across the U.S. So that's kind of the big highlight. Like previous censuses, USDA-NASS has looked at the top 3 operators in a particular operation, and so those are the type of things that we look at when we're doing the Census of Agriculture.
Any highlights for Kansas?
Well, Kansas came in at 61,773 farms, and if you look at, we even broke it down by county here in the state of Kansas and across the U.S. This is the largest database of agricultural data broke down to the county level that we have in the U.S. So if you looked at Kansas data, the number of farms was just under 62,000 farms, and the top 4 counties that had the number of farms was the number 1 county was Reno County at 1,633 farms. That is down from the last time we did the census was in 2007. The number 2 county was Butler County, and they surpassed Miami County, who used to have the second largest number of farms, but Miami dropped down, dropping 15% of their farmers from 2007 to 2012. They dropped from ranking second down to number 4 with 1,305 farms. And then number 3 was Sedgwick County with 1,344 farms in 2012.
Any grain grain issues that we need to be aware of? I know there's some growth going on here in the state of Kansas.
There's a few things that kind of caught my eye just at the beginning of the review of the results here. But yeah, canola was a crop that kind of boosted up here in the last 5 years. That we were, I don't know if I was really surprised, but because it's a drought-tolerant crop, we did have an increase in the number of canola farms, nearly doubled from 2007. And if you looked at our neighbors to the south, they had a big boost in the number of canola farms, number of canola acres harvested, and the amount of canola produced.
Well, when we talk about that, it's a drought-tolerant crop, which is probably one of the reasons we saw such a boost in it.
Yeah, that's true. And they also have come up with other technology. Roundup Ready canola is a new technology that has just getting caught on here in the last 5 years too. It's probably another reason why it had a big boost in Oklahoma and have definitely spread up into Kansas, where we're looking at 5 and 6 times the number of acres of canola that we had 5 years ago.
We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to finish up with Jason on the new Census of Ag.
This segment brought to you by Renzi Seeds, Midwest growers' best ally for over 70 years. RenziSeeds.com, RENZE Seeds.com. A.B. Flint Motor Company, selling quality used cars and trucks in southeast Topeka at 32nd and South Kansas Avenue. Integrity Gun and Pawn, 2 Topeka locations specializing in firearms and training. IGPawn.com to learn more. Kansas Wheat Commission, leaders in the adoption of profitable innovations for wheat. Online at kswheat.com.
Jason, thanks for staying with us.
Sure, Brian.
Soybeans and other row crops here across the state, I would imagine that we continue to grow as we're looking at record number of soybean acres possibly this year.
Yeah, when you look at the total number of farms, we had a decrease in the state of Kansas. But when you started looking at the details as far as the number of wheat farms or the number of corn farms, you were seeing a lot of the decreases that would go with the fewer number of farms. Soybeans was a little bit different, to where we've had an increase in the number of soybean farms in the state of Kansas. And like you said, that kind of reflects the possibility of some record soybean acres this year. This is comparing 2007 to 2012, but the trend is definitely there, that there was an increase from 13,232 soybean farms in 2007. Now, based on the 2012 numbers, 15,448. So a pretty good jump. And then you can break that down by acres in the Census of Agriculture too, size of farm. And you were looking at mostly the increases were those farmers that had over 100 acres, and definitely then they had over 1,000 acres. There was an increase in the number of farms. So.
Farm income's up a little bit. I think if you looked at the number, you'd go, wow, farm incomes are way up. But if you look at the expenses on the other side, you'd go, farm incomes are not that far up.
That's right. When you first see the numbers from the Census of Agriculture, and this is 2012 numbers, but it was a jump of about 28% in the value of ag products sold from the state of Kansas. Okay, so that's a pretty good jump in the value of those products sold. But you also have to look at the expenses, and that's one of the things that comes out of the Census of Agriculture. At the same time, you can look at expenses, and the expenses jumped overall 35%. So now you got a little bit bigger picture there, and you can even take that expenses and break it down and say, okay, what expenses really jumped up? And if you look at the details, feed expenses nearly doubled, and ag chemicals nearly doubled in that 5-year period from 2007 to 2012.
So farmers are literally having to squeeze every penny out of every acre they've got, basically.
Yeah, they're definitely spending a lot to make more, that's for sure.
And we just got a little bit of time left. We saw each other on the wheat tour the other day. Any surprises that kind of came out of that for you?
Well, to me, I was surprised that we weren't seeing this extremes like we did last year, where we saw some really, really good wheat and then some really, really poor wheat. This year it seemed like, at least on the tour I was on, that the overall the yields were lower and there were still a lot of not very good wheat, and it's really on the verge of some very tough times if the rains don't come in some areas.
I think in the short amount of time that we got to spend on, that I got to spend on there, you look at the farms and you go, these guys have had a really tough time.
Let's split precision ag data into two general types: individual machine data and field level production data. Machine data. This is about how your farm machines and equipment are functioning, including location, engine hours, fuel use, and other diagnostic information. Diagnostic information regarding an individual machine can assist in making maintenance and repairs timelier and more cost efficient. It can also be used by engineers to better develop the next generation of machines. Production data deals more with farming practices, including yields, crop input volumes, and rates applied. Like machine data, field level production data has value, not only to the farmer, but also the companies providing the services. Imagine if you knew that over the last 48 hours, 10% of Iowa's corn crop had been harvested and it was yielding 25% below expectations. And you could further infer the impact of this on total U.S. corn production. Clearly, this would have tremendous market value. The key with market-sensitive data like this will be who has first access, because it'll be of little value to farmers if it's used by the company or sold to high-speed traders days, hours, or even minutes before. The use of data through precision technologies has the potential to revolutionize agriculture by making farmers better at producing food and companies better at providing services and products. The real question is, do the benefits of sharing data with another entity outweigh the costs associated with the possibility that the data could be released or misused by others? While privacy is and always will be an important issue, we need to admit to ourselves that in this digitized online world, the days of true privacy are long gone.
Hello, I'm Dr. Chris Blevins here at Kansas State Veterinary Health Center, and today we're going to talk about foaling. In the spring, mares are getting ready to foal. What things do we need to watch for? What things are important to examine? And getting your veterinarian involved is important. Probably one of the first things that we need to worry about is making sure if the mare starts to leak her milk. The foal, remember, gets their immunity from mom's milk when they are first born. So within the first 12 to 24 hours, that's crucial time for the immunity for that foal. So making sure that foal nurses and making sure the mare isn't leaking that colostrum prior to foaling, those are all important things to remember and to talk to your veterinarian if you have any concerns about that. So prior to foaling, making sure that mare isn't leaking milk. After foaling, it's probably good to get your veterinarian involved to check to make sure the immunity for that foal is in process. So one of that aspect would be to run an IgG snap test. It's a quick blood test they take on that foal, and just making sure that that foal's immunity is ready for the rest of the spring. Again, that crucial time frame is 12 to 24 hours, and talk to your veterinarian if you have any questions or concerns about that. I'm Dr. Chris Blevins here at Kansas State Vet School. You can always call us and ask if you have any questions about that also in the foaling season. We'll see you around.
You can find us on the web at kansasAGreport.com and make sure to like us on Facebook.
This segment brought to you by Renzi Seeds, Midwest growers' best ally for over 70 years. RenziSeeds.com, RENZE Seeds.com. A.B. Flint Motor Company, selling quality used cars and trucks in southeast Topeka at 32nd and South Kansas Avenue. Integrity Gun and Pawn, 2 Topeka locations specializing in firearms and training. igpawn.com to learn more. Impact Satellite, your local authorized DirecTV dealer. Impact Satellite at 785-554-5974.
Imagine having someone help you pick the best corn hybrids for every field on your farm. Your Oldie representative can combine your data with his data to offer a field-by-field prescription. Contact Oldie Seed today at 877-692-4555.
Trending now at Dick Edwards Auto Plaza, Kia and Dodge, Ford and Jeep, all at one location. Kia, affordable, stylish, reliable. Ram, rugged, spacious, powerful. Ford, legendary, dependable, tough. Jeep, off-road, on-road, limitless possibilities. Dick Edwards Auto Plaza, I-70 and Highway 77 in Junction City.
Tammy the Pro Home Plus is all about providing warmth and kindness to aging individuals who find it difficult to live on their own. Tammy's team is made up of experienced caregivers and nurses committed to the highest level of individualized care, focusing on health and well-being, and assisting with nutrition, grooming, medications, therapies, and daily living needs, all in a warm, caring environment. Call Tammy the Pro Home Plus today at 785-383-7094 to learn how we can help.
The producer-funded Kansas Wheat Innovation Center was built to get improved varieties into the hands of farmers faster. Kansas Wheat, farmers advancing their future through wheat genetics research.
Price, selection, dependability. That's the Dick Edwards way. It's a standard that we've lived by for over 30 years, and it continues today with a wide selection of America's most affordable and dependable brands. Ford, Lincoln, Mazda, and Hyundai. We don't draw you in with gimmicks or false promises. Just upfront, honest pricing from great salespeople, always going the extra mile to find the perfect car, truck, or SUV just for you. That's the way it's always been, because that's the Dick Edwards way. Dick Edwards Ford, 2 miles east of the Town Center Mall on Highway 24.
This hog is head over hoof for meal made from U.S. soybeans. Now, one hog isn't that impressive, but suppose we add another, and another, and another. Before long, you've got billions of hungry customers around the world all clamoring for the same thing. Our soybeans. Learn more about the billion-dollar appetite of animal agriculture at BeyondTheElevator.com. Brought to you by America's soybean farmers and their checkoff.
Since 1983, the Hydrobed has been utilized on cattle operations throughout North America. The Hydrobed equips your 3-quarter or 1-ton truck for hay handling and feeding. Variable speed cable controls or the optional wireless remote enable you to haul, transport, and unroll 2 round bales weighing up to 3,000 pounds each. A mechanical free float automatically compensates for uneven ground and out of round bales, isolating you and the truck from impact of bale unrolling. To find out how the Hydrobed can improve your feeding efficiency, call or visit us on the web at triple-c-inc.com.
Beef Month is underway in Kansas as industry organizations publicly recognize the substantial contributions ranchers, feeders, and dairymen make to the economy and to human nutrition. The observance started with USDA coincidentally releasing figures showing the economic strength of beef production in the state. Cattle in Kansas generated $7.75 billion in cash receipts during 2013. That's down slightly from the record set in 2012. The state ranked third in cash receipts last year behind first place Nebraska and second place Texas. Kansas also ranked third last year in the value of beef production, which is generally defined as cattle born and sold in the state. The $4.22 billion value of production figure for Kansas ranked behind Texas in first and Nebraska. The Kansas Beef Council is using this data to highlight the importance of the state's beef industry during Beef Month. Other key messages being emphasized during Beef Month communications are about nutrition. For example, consumers are hearing that beef provides 10% of 10 essential nutrients, including zinc, iron, protein, and B vitamins, all in less than 10% of the daily caloric intake recommended by the federal government.
If you'd like to advertise your business on Kansas AgReport, give us a call at 785-554-5974.
Good morning. I'm Eric Osterhaus with Paragon Ag Advisors, and this is our look at the grain markets today. We continue to see the grain markets attempt to keep pace with the difficult 1-2 combo of both a weather market as well as a political one. The situation in the Ukraine continues to simmer, and this has made the corn and wheat markets attractive as a political hedge. The Ukraine, however, is also no longer new news, so unless real military action occurs, the support we've seen from this will likely have been priced in. In regards to wheat, if the recent Kansas Wheat Tour estimates turn out to be correct, this would be the smallest wheat harvest in Kansas since 1996. The recent high temps and wind speeds has caused some to compare those days to the dust storm days of the dirty 30s. Balancing this bullish news is the bearish outlook from the world perspective. Adequate world wheat stocks and good growing conditions in the world wheat areas are all bearish factors. It's always important to remember that wheat is a world crop, and what we see out our back window is not necessarily going to provide direction to the trade. The old crop corn market has been well supported, but seems a little tired at the high end of the trading range we've seen. A slow planting pace has helped support new crop corn prices. However, historically, it's a bad bet to bet against the American farmer to get his corn crop in. Expect this premium to disappear quickly if planting pace accelerates. If you have any questions regarding these markets or any commodity markets, please call us at 1-888-452-8751.
Closed captioning brought to you by Dick Edwards in Manhattan, selling America's #1 truck, the Ford F-150, for over 30 years. DickEdwardsAuto.com.
Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff. Progress powered by Kansas farmers. kansassoybeans.org.
Ag Risk Solutions. Experience, knowledge, integrity. Your crop insurance solution, Ag Risk Solutions. Dick Edwards Auto Plaza in Junction City, home of this year's Motor Trend Truck of the Year, Ram Truck. DickEdwardsAuto.com.
Well, that's our show for today. I hope you'll join us each week for more news and information about agriculture in the state of Kansas. I'm Bryan Hallman, and thanks for watching.
Here at Blue River Traders, we have the greatest selection of rustic and western furniture in Kansas.
At Blue River Traders, you can select from an inventory of rustic lodge or western furnishings. With a designer on hand, Blue River Traders will help create the look you desire.
Spring is sprung, and Premier Farm & Home has what you need to keep your yard crabgrass free throughout the season. With a complete line of pre-emergents, you can stop crabgrass before it starts. Premier Farm & Home, 900 Southwest University Boulevard, or find them on the web at heycow.com.
Tammy the Pro Home Plus is all about providing warmth and kindness to aging individuals who find it difficult to live on their own. Tammy's team is made up of experienced caregivers and nurses committed to the highest level of individualized care, focusing on health and well-being, and assisting with nutrition, grooming, medications, therapies, and daily living needs, all in a warm, caring environment. Call Tammy the Pro Home Plus today at 785-383-7094 to learn how we can help.